Shootings, stabbings, but people aren't just using these as weapons, right?
Frying pans.
There's another weapon out there.
He had like 2 scratches on the right foot. He had no shoes on. He was barefooted in the middle of the freeway, which I thought was like so weird.
Now, witnesses tell us about the moment a driver tried to walk away after investigators say he intentionally crashed into a motorcyclist on the 805 freeway, killing him. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Garcia.
And I'm Mark Mona. We are learning new details tonight about Monday night's crash in Chula Vista, including the names of both the suspect and the victim.
Investigators say 22-year-old Ulysses Jimenez has now been charged with murder. NBC7's Dave Summers spoke to a witness and CHP about what happened.
There's a guy just walking in the middle of the road.
Jenny Keaty and her kids video recorded Ulysses Jimenez barefoot with a handful of cash asking for a ride as he walked away from his crashed Tesla.
Like, this guy's going into moving traffic and he doesn't even care.
The surreal images followed a fatal crash Keaty and her kids narrowly avoided.
I think he was trying to get a ride. People weren't falling for it. And then he started getting mad, like flipping people off.
Moments before that, California Highway Patrol investigators say Jimenez rammed his red Tesla at a high rate of speed into the back of 52-year-old Jorge Uribe Villalobos' new BMW motorcycle, killing him. The Tesla continued, then struck a 2012 black Ram pickup. The 24-year-old man driving it and his 5 passengers suffered minor injuries. The hit and run happened around 8:30 Monday evening, southbound on the 805 at Telegraph Canyon Road.
Jimenez is charged with first-degree murder and hit and run. CHP investigators are now saying there could be more charges. They're still investigating whether he was driving under the influence of drugs. Investigators say this was no accident, that it was intentional. And they know that from statements Jimenez said after his arrest. The two didn't know each other, which may suggest this is a case of road rage.
You mentioned that he appeared kind of out of it.
He
How so?
did. Like, his face, like, he didn't seem remorseful, like running, or like he was walking as if he was walking to a grocery store.
Keaty says police surrounded Jimenez with guns drawn. He didn't immediately do as instructed, but was eventually taken into custody without incident. For Jenny and her family, the road home may never be the same. But
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Thanks, Eugene.
I want to shout out to Eugene as well. I appreciate your advice on the gun situation. I'm well aware of that. I did enroll in a range and then it closed down and I just haven't gotten back to it. But I'd be glad to know I did go through the training and I also did get the insurance, the legal insurance and everything else in case I did have a mishap with it. But thanks for that. I appreciate that. That's why we have our viewers come and participate on this show.
Thanks for being here, y'all.
Well, I did too, Jim. I went through a year's full of training before I even would purchase a gun, because I would not purchase a gun without knowing exactly how to be safe with it, right? Because I've always hated, never wanted to be near a gun.
That's why I'm uncomfortable with them. I would be fine with them if I knew how to use it. If I got trained and knew how to fucking use shit. That's why I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm sure I'd be fine with it if that. But you know,
and the only
when
reason
I worked at the
for
prison,
me,
I've done shit I don't know how to do. I really
Yeah.
don't.
The reason for me is what if shit does hit the fan at some
Right.
point, right? And people are coming for your family and your food and you need something to protect yourself.
I would rather stab somebody. I don't want a gun. Guns.
Oh, I
You got to
have
be
plenty
very
of swords
close
up
to
in
stab
here. I
them.
got
That's the
swords
issue with the stab.
everywhere.
I know. I mean, look, I'm not here
I can't
for a
stab
gunfight.
anybody.
I just can't.
Sword fighting. Let's go.
I
Well,
hear
one
ya.
of the
I was
first
there.
things, one of the first things you learn in the safety classes I took to get permitted and to get the concealed weapon thing is that if you're in a gunfight, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
Yes.
And then anybody on this panel who has a gun, if you take your gun out to begin a gunfight, you're gonna lose because you're gonna be nervous and you're gonna be uncomfortable shooting it. And you're supposed to go right for the chest, the biggest portion of the body. Most
I
people
trained for 7 years in prison. I could shoot the gun. It's cool.
That's why you train.
I
You
just
keep
don't have one.
training so that you know how to diffuse the situation
Yes.
and not have to bring it up. That's
Yes.
why you train.
Right.
Well,
And they
Marley,
train you on every way to get out of it.
Yes.
Marley just came up with, in the comments with a great alternative, and that's the bear spray.
Bear spray. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
I have
part of
that.
the reason why my husband wanted me to get a shotgun. First of all, those things, I break out into a sweat, even just thinking about touching it. That's how much I hate guns. But I appreciated the fact that he wanted me to have it, but they're very intimidating. And with the shotgun, like I said, all you got to do is pull the trigger. It's going to hit something.
They're
You know,
heavy.
that's the one thing about having a shotgun as opposed to a handgun, which I just absolutely refuse. My
Thing is, you
husband
can't
wanted,
carry the shotgun with you outside the house. That's
yeah,
the
my
And
only.
they have
husband wanted me
one
to
hell of
get
a kick.
a concealed carry, and I couldn't go for that. You know, I acquiesced to the shotgun, but it's no.
Let's go back to the Tesla. Let's go back to the Tesla.
Yes, the Tesla.
What the hell?
We want to get Stabby McGee up in here. We want to, you know.
People are going to continue. Remember the movie Falling Down when Michael Douglas was just got the car and he was like, I want a buttery sandwich. I want the sandwich to look like this and all that. That's how people are getting. I think they're frazzled. I think they're pushed to the limit. You know, many people are breaking up and stuff like that. So they have money strains. Kids need more stuff. You know, it's about to be back to school time. You know, do they have their jobs? You know, healthcare struggles. I mean, it's all this coming in, and I'm seeing a lot of people checking in, you know, through their mental health and talking about all the stressors. And you got grandparents raising their grandkids, and it goes on and on.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse.
It's supposed to get worse next year.
That's why we got to be community, y'all. That's why we can't let people just fall off by the wayside. Like right now it's more important than ever for us to like really be taking care of one another, because these motherfuckers, I mean, they're actively trying to destroy us. So don't think that we're going to get shit from them. So like we have to take care of each other and make sure our neighbors and our friends and family and everybody is good, and the pets too.
And as hard as it is now to get by, try to scrape a little aside and save for next year, because Andrea is exactly
I'm working
right.
a 75-hour work week just because I'm trying to do just that.
And it's going to get worse. And keep cash around, because you never know what's going to happen with the banking system and everything else.
Wait, what is happening next year, Andrea?
Well, next year, a lot of the laws that he signed for this year are going to take effect next year.
Right. Okay.
So they're not even in effect, and we're already feeling the tariff and fears of the tariff. And in Texas, it's an open carry, and you don't need a license, and everybody got a gun.
They just announced I think a tax-free period of time where you can buy a gun and you don't have to pay taxes on it or something like that.
Everybody's gonna be shooting everybody
In Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the streets.
Yep.
What the hell is it going to take for gun violence to change?
It's going to take they're not going to do it. It's just not going to be possible. They'll get rid of everybody first.
I think we got to go back to Kim's Tesla.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
please.
Sorry.
Tangent.
I'm totally depressed.
Now, I think the point is, if you're hell bent on hurting somebody,
you're gonna
use whatever you have.
and look at all the